Hi Leo, so welcome to your mid-November general reading. So hope you're fine wherever you are. We're back in lockdown in Europe, and yeah, so you got two Lenormands, you got the Fox and then you got the Ring. Now how I tend to read the Fox is someone who's there might be a little bit of analysis paralysis going on here, to tell you the truth, because your general reading for November, I think, stood out from any reading. And I felt there was a tension between wanting change, but wanting things to stay the same, or wanting change, but not wanting to let go of the four. The fours are always about our security, and the challenge was between change and staying the same. So that's how I read the Fox. It's a bit like the Seven of Swords card. So you're not in the future, but you don't want to be where you are anymore. And it's quite a tough position to be in, Leo. I always think it's like it's a little bit of a tension. Now the trick, your mind is not a guide. Okay, the mind is, we were taught that mind is king, and all the mind does is keep us going in perpetual loops with no solutions. As a Leo, your solution is found within your heart. Yeah, that is your guiding light. Where does my heart want to be? What does my what would my heart say around this situation? And not let the mind, which is an interference pattern, get in the way. You then go to the Ring. So the Ring's a card about loyalty, devotion, tends to be a relationship card, but I've seen it showing up when there's contracts, something which is quite binding, but it's binding in a beautiful way. Well, I find it binding in a beautiful way, because it just is. I'm sorry, but you know, some people think there's one way to read the cards. There really isn't one way to read the cards. So it's almost like there's a couple of things going on here. I still think there's confusion around the change process. You're overthinking it, Leo. I guarantee you're overthinking it. When we let go, our body has an intelligence beyond the mind, and it just knows what's right for it. And please remind me of that when I need you to. And then the Ring's about loyalty, some sort of relationship dynamic or some sort of contract, something which is, it tends to be a bit more than you on your own. Yeah, so uniting with someone else, that sort of energy. So give me 6 cards for Leo. Please guide them. December is probably one of the most important months of our lifetime. And it's at a 0-degree conjunction we're moving into in December. I will talk about it more next month, but it's all about new possibilities. So yeah, November there might be still a little bit of clearing up work to do. I'm actually fed up with saying that, to tell you the truth. It seems to be all I get people to do. Shadow work, clear the stuff, clear the way, get clear. Give me a minute. Actually, in the natural zodiac, the Aquarius Jupiter Saturn conjunction will be taking place in your 7th house, which is the house of relationships, which is the Ring. That's the natural zodiac. The natural zodiac does have an intelligence to it. It's not what I use in my reading, But it does make sense with the ring that there might be a new start in a relationship, because a 0 point is a brand new beginning, which would make sense. But Libra rules everything contractual. It's not just one-to-one relationships. I'm gathering there's something new on the horizon for you. But anyhow, let's have a look. And we don't get the new unless we let go of the old, by the way. So the Magician behind you, all the aces, the gift is the Knight of Cups, the challenge. Don't shout at me, 8 of Swords, too much thinking. It's, yeah. Other people's energy is the Emperor. Yeah, 7 of Swords, you have got it. And 8 of Swords is a challenge. This is the mind, okay? Now, the mind is good for making lists, doing your taxes, writing essays, but it's not for navigating our life. It's a complete interference pattern, and it's a trap. And I think you've got yourself trapped in overthinking here. Then you get the 10 of Swords. I don't read the 10 of Swords the way that other people, because that means the pattern is over. So it's coming to an end. The 10 of Swords is one of my favourite tarot cards, a bit like the Tower. I think I read everything back to front because the 10 is a completion process. And I am going to clarify what comes after this 10 because I really, really want to know. And then you do get the Libra card, which is about the ring, which is about relationships. It looks like this month you are completing some sort of process that you definitely are overthinking it. The 8 of Swords is a challenge, is feeling frustrated, feeling I can't move, I'm in a bind, yeah. It's one of the Fool's challenges. It's one of our challenges. It's one of the Fool's challenges. And I actually believe sometimes in life we are in an 8 of Swords situation. So, you know, some people say it's all an illusion. You know, that's really, really not the case, is it? Behind you is the Magician card. So this is all the aces. The Magician card shows up when someone's being empowered. They're building a power within them. Yeah, so a lot of people say it's a manifesting card, but I find how it shows up is as a strength. This inner strength, this inner power has been built from within, like, you know, like the cup's been filled with this incredible power. And what tends to come after the Magician is an action, okay? The thing is, this reading's not far off your November reading, but there's action with resistance. So the gift is the Knight of Cups, and you've got the Libra card. So there's something going on with your relationships, yeah, and it's with the Lovers card. And actually, I like what's going on in your relationships. So I think the natural zodiac, this grand conjunction in December is happening in your natural zodiac of the relationship house, which is really clearly showing up. Looks like some sort of potential full moment when you reset everything and sort of the potential to make a brand new start. It could be a new relationship, by the way, or it could be one that's been around for a long time. So your biggest challenge is you're stuck in a mental pattern. So this mental pattern, should I go forward? Should I go backwards? If I go right, then what about left? You know, it's a card of the mind. That's it. Deep breath. And the 8 of Swords is a challenge. It's almost like being in a mental trap here. And remember, as a Leo, you're here to integrate Aquarius energy. And Aquarius energy is like the higher mind, like the Queen of Swords or the King of Swords. So it's not about being controlled by your mind. It's about allowing your heart and your mind to be in this beautiful relationship. Other people's energy is the Emperor. So they might be taking charge, or they might be really stiff, but I don't get a stiff energy here. Don't love the Libra card. The Emperor card is a relationship card as a rule, because it's Aries, and Aries, it can be just about the self, yeah, which isn't very great when it comes to relationships. But then you get the Libra card. So I think there's going to be a turnaround in your relationships. Or this Emperor could be taking the lead, you know, being in charge. This is a I am and I will, and setting the lead. I'm really, really not sure. What I know that you are involved in is a mind pattern, Leo, here. Well, the 7 and 8 of Swords is almost like it's like you're going around in a perpetual circle. And what I need you to do is get into the 10 of Swords. I honestly, 10 of Swords is one of my favourite cards, because it's like the battle's over. I ain't doing this anymore. It's, you know, if you've got a very small child or a wild dog and you just say stop, just stop. Deep breath, just stop. And the mind goes quiet. And when the mind goes quiet, I'm not saying right away, but you know, we start to say, oh, I'm losing my connection, I'm losing my way. We get out our own way, and then we allow solutions to come to us. Okay? Very good. And what's the Libra card about? I'm a little bit intrigued here. What's going on? 4 of Wands. Crossing a threshold, potentially. Coming out of... It's like coming out the opposite side of something. Because it's got a dragonfly, and the dragonfly is the same as the butterfly. It's gone through a process. And so when you get to the dragonfly, it's like, oh, we're coming out of the opposite side. This could be a relationship. The issues you're thinking here. And, you know, by the time you get to the 10 of Swords, we're talking about, you know, the real spiritual wisdom, you know, of people about, you know, this isn't real. It's almost like being under a spell, being under your mind. And when you learn to stop as a Leo, take a step back, left hand on heart. I've lost my way a bit here. Some deep breaths. And then you just say, can you show me the solution? Can you show me the way forward? And what I find then, it might take a couple of days. We all get our solutions in our own way, you know, when the messages that we need come. But it does not happen when you're in these cards. It happens when you're in this card, because you're no longer in the way. And when we're no longer in the way, we either invite solutions, and sometimes that solution is, it's not the best time to make a change. I need to negotiate for a few months, or I don't know. But it doesn't happen when your mind is full of story. It happens when we have that surrender moment, that prayer, that samadhi, that's when it happens. And that's why I like the 10 of Swords, by the way. It's interesting times. just really, really interesting times. And I asked for one more message for you because you have got a little bit of a confusing reading. Judgment card. So something coming back, turning. The Death card and the Judgment card are in relationship with each other. Death and then life. Something coming back. And I can't help feeling this is more about relationships than anything else. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because very, very important month coming up. So I'm going to do a little bit of work in that. I'm going to try and bring it into my readings as much as possible, because we've literally got, from next month, we've literally got about a year to individuate, to rewrite our lives, and to begin to create a life that we want to live. So I'll talk about it more next month. Okay, Leo, lots of love. Bye.